Well, as you're aware now, we got Publicis numbers, fully results earlier today. Stefan has been very busy, not only speaking to the boss of BNP Paribas, but he also spoke to the boss of Publicis, Stefan.
To Maurice Lévy, the good news is that the advertising market will recover in 2010 and that Publicis is expecting to outperform the market thanks to its strong position in digital media. That's the view of Maurice Lévy. However, the numbers for the last year were below expectations. Net profit is at 403 million euros and the margin, that's the issue, dropped to 15%. In this interview to CNBC, Maurice Lévy says the margin will not improve before 2011.
We had a 5.4% negative growth in the fourth quarter, 6.5% for the full year, both compared to a decline in the market which is above 12%. So we can say that not only we have been able to weather the crisis, but to gain market share, and we have a sequential improvement from quarter to quarter since the month of June. What I would like to add is that the first indication we have for January are pretty good.
What's your guidance for the advertising market in 2010 and how do you think that Publicis will perform relatively?
All indications give us the feeling that the market will be slightly positive, and we believe that we will do better than the market. It's definitely for us a growth which will be positive with a plus before the number, and this number should be higher than what the market will deliver.
Do you have a margin target for 2010?
Our objective in 2010 is to invest in many areas, including talent, particularly after the difficulties of 2009, and therefore if we maintain the same level of margin, we'll be quite happy, and our objective is to go back to an increase of the margin from 2011 and onwards.
You are very focused on digital. How do you think that Publicis will compete with social networks and with viral marketing that companies are using more and more?
Our digital operation do everything from obviously website to displays, search, viral marketing, mobile communication, etc., etc. So we cover all this segment, and including obviously social networks. So we are clearly the leader in that field, and we have the largest share of the business in the advertising market at Publicis Group. We have more than 22% which is coming from digital. We believe that we will have more than 25% in 2010, and our objective is to attain more than 30% quite shortly.
Globally speaking, how do you feel that the crisis has changed your business?
In fact, there is two aspects which happened at the same time. We had a very strong crisis with something which is absolutely unprecedented, and I guess that this is true for all the industries in the world. And on top of that, we had to rebuild, renovate, reinvent the advertising market due to the fact that digital has changed quite dramatically the media landscape. And if you look today how to reach a person, it is very hard to do it with the old model.
Do you feel that the crisis has created some acquisition opportunities in the advertising sector?
We have been able to acquire Razorfish and to increase our position on digital markedly. So we have now the number one and the number two networks in that field, and I believe that this will change quite seriously our position.
Are you planning some acquisitions again in 2010?
We have a situation which is financially sound, very solid, very robust, with 3.7 billion euros of liquidities, and I believe that we have the possibility of making a lot of acquisition. We will be very cautious. This is the signature of Publicis, to be very cautious, very prudent, and we will acquire only specifically and targeted acquisition for the time being in two directions. One is emerging market, where we want to increase our footprint, and the second is on digital and particularly international operation outside the US and in some European countries, in Latin America and in Asia Pacific.
So the company is planning some acquisitions. Growth will be back in 2010, but there's still a lot of pressure on prices in the advertising sector, and the margin is going to be weak this year again. That explains the negative reaction we are seeing on the market this morning. Publicis shares are down 2.7% right now in Paris. Steve.
Excellent work, Stéphane. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, certainly the busiest man at CNBC today, don't you think, Stéphane Pedrazzi?